Hello and welcome back to Azure Terraformer. Today I'm going to be setting up an observability stack in my environment for dev and prod. And we'll be setting up a Terraform pipeline. We'll be setting up the Terraform to provision Blob Storage and Log Analytics for short-term and long-term log analytics, or just logs. And so let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project or a new repo. I'm going to call this infra logs. We'll just call this observability. Infra observability. Okay. Observability is the cool word anyway. So let's go here. Let's go new window. Later. Did I not copy that? Oh dear Lord. What is all this? It always opens in the background. What happened here? Did it fail? Yeah, must have failed. Okay. Sneaky devil always opens in the back. Observability. Okay. No. Terminal. Okay. So we need a AZDO pipelines folder. We're going to have some Terraform. Let's go snag from our machine images. We can grab our templates here. Don't need Packer. Okay, so we have this. We need to set the application name. So we take in the primary region, the application name, and the environment name. And we have those versions. The environment variables that vary for dev and prod look like this, and there we go. So now what I'm going to need is I need a storage account for one. Storage account. And let's clean this up. And this is going to be too long. This is going to be too long of a name anyway. And for storage, like we're just gonna have. I mean, for storage, whenever you deploy to multiple regions, if you're going to do Azure Monitor logs to that region, you're going to need more than one storage account. So I don't like how I just have this called main. So I might drop this into the specific location that I'm going to put the storage account in. And I might specifically, put that in there. So maybe what I'll do is I'll set up a storage account per region that I pass in, and then create n number of them based on that. So let's call this variable storage regions. So storage regions is going to be something that I need to split. So storage region array equals split var. What am I going to split it by? Probably the comma, right? And then here I'm going to take this and use this as the location, and I'm going to say trim local.that and then count.index. Now I also have to take this and set the count meta operator on my storage account length of this array. And that's what allows me to use this count.index. So the count is a meta operator that you can attach to any resource, data source, module, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's built into Terraform. It's built into HashiCorp language. And then here I'm basically saying, okay, this array, I want to have the same number of storage accounts as I have items in this array. And so this array contains the name of the region that I want to deploy to. And I'm going to, for each one of these storage accounts that I set up, I'm going to have, that region name passed in for each. So we're basically doing a for each loop on this array, and we're grabbing the value of that array and saving that as the thing. Now I am dumping these into the storage account. I'm sorry, the same resource group. And we've talked about this previously, like why this is not always the greatest idea. But with storage accounts, I don't need control plane access. Like I don't need ARM control plane access. The role of these storage accounts is that I'm going to be spelunking them for logs, right, in the future. So even if there's a disruption to the primary region, not a big concern, because I'll still, like, this storage account will still be accessible to me at whatever the endpoint that it's at, in whatever region that it's at. So it'll be fine, basically. However, from an ARM standpoint, if I want to change the tags on it or interact with it using the ARM API, I would be impacted. But the functionality that I want to do with this storage account won't be impacted by it living in this storage account or this resource group. So I'm fine with that. This name is I'm going to get totally destroyed by this name. So I think I'm going to have to like drop a rando in there. Let's see if I can find a rando block. I should have lots and lots of rando blocks. There we go. So I'm just going to grab like a random string and generate that for my storage account. And you know what? I'm just gonna create a new TF file, storage.tf, because our storage accounts are getting a little dominating of this main.tf. I don't like just dumping everything into one file. So this is going to be the storage name. Let's call this storage suffix. Storage name suffix. Yeah, that's nice. And we need a count of these because we have to have a unique collection of these. So I'm going to use this instead of my concatenated thing, and I'm just going to say random string dot storage name suffix, and then I'm going to go count dot index. So now I'm going to grab that SD constant, and then I'm going to grab the random string that correlates to the current index of this for loop that I'm doing. And again, I'm for looping through this array of regions. So each region will have a different storage account within that region. And so this will impact my discoverability of my storage accounts in the future, but it guarantees uniqueness, and it guarantees me not having to do funky stuff trying to look stuff up. I can add additional guarantees by including a unique code that's specific to me. I'm just going to call this AZTF, Azure Terraformer. So my storage accounts are going to be ST for storage, AZTF, Azure Terraformer, that's me. And then I'm going to have my random string appended to the end. And so that's going to be how I'm going to generate n number of storage accounts for this thing. And I got to trim it. I've ran into this. I'm probably not using split correctly, because maybe I should just look that up. Because with split, every once in a while, like I get some white space in there, and there's probably a way within the split. Dang it. Within the split where I don't have to do that. So let's look up split. That didn't work. Split. So with split, and I'm even doing it wrong. The separator comes first and then the string. That's silly. So the separator comes first and then the string. Okay. And then I think there's like so I need to look at like an array. So if we look at array functions, collection functions, I can't remember what I want to do here, but I think trim is good. But basically the function that I'm looking for is if I have an array and I have a region, each item in my array is a region name with a white space at the end. How can I create a new array where I iterate through each of the values in that array and then truncate the white space from that using the trim function? I know there's a function to do it. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. That would be hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'm good with my storage accounts. So now all I have in here, I have my log analytics. So let's create a new one called log analytics. And let me move that guy out of main. Okay, perfect. So I think I'm good for my first commit. Let's get this stuff added. Initial commit. Let's go to our Azure DevOps and set up these pipelines to get this going. And I'm going to create a new folder, and we're going to call this Observability. And plan failed for dev. Let's go see why. What did we do? So I don't think we probably didn't even set up this variable. Yeah, that was silly. So let's go look at this. So storage, we are trying to split a variable called storage variable, and we just call storage regions. Okay. But we don't specify the value. So here we're going to set storage regions. We're going to say West US, East US. And honestly, this is probably why I get the white space in there. But for readability, I like that, you know. So we're going to leave it, and we're going to do East and West US. Add storage regions. And then let's rerun this plan. Whoops. Run new. Oh, it still doesn't like it. Stored is a list of string. Count index is a trim. Oh, let's look at our trim method that we're doing this with. So we're grabbing this region array. What line of code is this on? 22. It's when we set the location. We say, while calling trim, string cut set, count index is a number, local is a list of string. Trim expects 2 arguments. Oh, my bad. So we're trying trim. You have to pass in. So under trim, where the heck is it? String functions trim. So there's so you pass in the string, which is my region name, and then you have to pass in the characters you want to trim off of there. So I want to trim off white space, and I forgot to pass in white space. It's a C# kind of error, because usually trim is you don't, it just assumes you get rid of white space. Fix trim function. And let's run new again. And we should be good. Let's look at this. So what's wrong now? Invalid interpolation value. Random string, storage name suffix, count.index. Rookie mistake. A random string, object reference, and then I need to get the result off of that random string. That's what I need to do. Local, I don't need to do that. Okay. Not sure why I didn't find that in validate. It seems like that would be something that you find in validate. Okay, so let's inspect the plan. We're going to have a workspace, observability dev. We're going to have storage account. We're going to have 2 storage accounts, 2 random strings. Looking good. So let's go run apply on dev. Excellent. So now let's go run this in prod. Okay, and prod should be done. So let's hit refresh. And so there we go. We have dev, which has 2 storage accounts, East and West US, 1 log analytics workspace in West US, and then prod. Our storage accounts haven't popped up yet. There we are. And we have 2 storage accounts in prod, East covering East and West, and a log analytics in East and West. And again, the storage account, reason why we have the storage account in East and West, and 1 in every region that we're going to deploy to, is so if we spin up VMs or we add Azure Monitor diagnostic settings and we want to back up and store them long term in Blob Storage, which is way cheaper than Log Analytics, we can basically, we're going to need to have a storage account in the region that we deploy it to. It will not work. So when you set up the Azure Monitor diagnostic setting and you have a storage account as one of the targets, maybe for long-term storage, that storage account has to be in region with whatever resource you're targeting. Log Analytics, that is not the case. So we can use one Log Analytics workspace for all of our resources, no matter where they're in. Now, these storage accounts in multiple regions are also going to be useful for other things like boot diagnostics and the like, for virtual machines, which also need to be in region with that virtual machine. So this is a good start for our environment, so that we can start wiring up Azure Monitor to all of the resources that we provision, and really start taking advantage of the observability capabilities that are built into Azure. So I hope you enjoyed this content. We bootstrapped 2 environments, dev and prod, for our observability stack, using Log Analytics Workspace and storage accounts. We did a little bit of HCL gymnastics to dynamically, create storage accounts across an N number of regions. In this case, we only did 2, East and West US, but we could add any number of regions as we wanted to roll them out into the future. So I hope you enjoy this content. We're going to be expanding and leveraging this in future episodes. So make sure you come back and reference this if you need to set this up for yourself. We also need to set up activity logs for our subscriptions, so that'll be coming up here pretty soon. Anyways, please like this video if you enjoyed this content and you're enjoying the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so that you know when my next video drops, and ring that bell so you'll get instant notifications so you can come and watch all about Azure and Terraform. Anyways, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching, and this is the Azure Terraformer signing off. Cheers.